Hi, this is Ashley Victoria Robinson coming to you from the Pop Spot here at BookCon, and I am joined by the beautiful and talented Victoria Aveyard. How is BookCon treating you so far?
Well, I just did 4 hours worth of signing, so I apologize. I do not have the energy that you have right now.
It's okay, I've had 3 coffees and we're ready to go.
Oh my God, I'm jealous.
I did ask you about this before we started shooting, but I have to ask you again on camera. You have so many beautiful bracelets.
Yes.
They're all gifts.
Yes.
Is there anything that you would like people to spell out on a bracelet for you that hasn't been given to you yet?
You know, not off the top of my head, but the ones that are my favorite are when they acronym a quote from a book, and they're very, very long, and they're like, what quote do you think it is? I'm like, girl, I have no idea, but that's great. And it's always a fun way to know like which little piece of the fandom they're coming in from, which character, which like ship are they attached to, which little thing. It's so cool. And it's also obviously so unique to every single reader, and it's a gift that we as authors can actually take home. A lot of the times we can't take the gifts, but these are always coming home, and they're displayed in my office.
Is there an overwhelming fandom that is emerging through the bracelets? Like, is it always this ship? Is it a lot of this character or this book?
A little bit. I mean, the one that jumps out is from the Realmbreaker trilogy. I get a lot of Dom Sarasa bracelets.
Yes.
And then I get a lot of like Team Mare's bracelets, which I really like that. And then now that Tempest is on its way out, is setting sail, getting Tempest bracelets is really, really cool.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Tempest because now I can jump right to my questions
Yay.
about it. What can you tease us about its upcoming release?
This was actually something somebody said about it online, and I thought, I'm going to take that. And they said, oh, it's about a 10-year situationship with a pirate captain. I was like, yes, it absolutely is. Yeah, but that's the main thrust of the story, and I did something really difficult, but also really interesting in that it is told over those 10 years in a dual timeline. So one chapter is 10 years later, one chapter is 10 years before, and we go back and forth, and the timelines slowly join up. So it was fun, but hard. When
you're dealing with dual timelines, you also do like multi-POVs. How are you laying out the story? Do you have a murder board? Is it Google Docs? What does it look like?
Another interesting wrinkle with Tempest is I set out to write a standalone novel. And
Did you succeed?
I wrote a 300,000 word standalone novel.
Okay, so yes.
So an over 1,000-page manuscript, turned it into my editor, and the conversation immediately changed into, we can't publish it at this length for production reasons.
Like for binding?
Like for binding, the glue won't hold on the spine. We can't spray edges that long. That was actually really interesting to know that sprayed edges are so important now that we're talking about them so early on in the process.
Yeah.
And then on top of the production side, the editorial, both of my editors actually said, you know, for a book this long, my note shouldn't be, I wanted more. But it is. I wanted more time in these certain scenes with these certain characters, and I feel like if we split it in 2, we will have room to do what we need to do with the book. And they were absolutely right. But because of that dual timeline, splitting it in half, I had to do some dancing and break things apart a little bit. And unfortunately, that included a lot of moving large chapters in, unfortunately, Microsoft Word, which I don't recommend for your health, for your wellness, your mental stability.
I'm imagining you being haunted by that little clippy at night.
Yes. But it did mean, you know, splitting it in half. I wanted both books to feel like a fully enclosed story arc that's part of a bigger story, but you're not finishing Tempest and just immediately knowing, oh, she just broke it in half. There was no conclusion. There was no sort of closure for anything. So I had to do a lot of reworking there.
Is the fact that it is a pirate-themed romance why we have a very cute starfish ring on?
Yes. Okay, so unfortunately, so many people have said, oh my God, I love your ring. And I've started to be like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm flipping them off.
No, that's iconic. Never change.
So
Never don't do
my
that.
My mom got me this ring not long after I sold Tempest. And she's like, I can't wait for you to eventually 2 years from now when the book comes out, you go on tour, you take this ring with you. And she was absolutely right. This was the first time I remembered to wear it because she texted me, wear your starfish ring. And she was right. So many people loved it. And I think it looks really cool while I'm signing.
Also, if you get into a fist fight, it's going to be a distinct advantage.
That's what Swarovski was thinking.
When I think of Victoria, I think of fist fights in public.
You know, you wouldn't be far off.
Speaking of fist fights in public, and shifting subject abruptly and completely, your readers often claim Maven as their problematic fave.
Yes.
Are you surprised that they love him so much?
No, because I totally align with, the morally gray characters are the most interesting. That does mean when you're writing people who are actually good, you have to work really hard to make them interesting to the reader, who is obviously going to gravitate in the other direction. So I'm not surprised. The only thing that ever surprises me is people who I know love Maven, who is quite problematic and doesn't have a great moral compass. Maybe not his fault. But then also have issues with Mare for not making the right choices. And I'm like, this seems like a double standard. This seems a little sexist. I don't know.
I like that your fiction, though, can hold like the mirror up to people's opinions like that. You're doing what Hamlet told you to do, hold the mirror up to nature. I also think that your book covers are some of the most beautiful covers in the industry.
Thank you. That's
I think
the team's here. They love to hear that.
Snaps for the team. And I think that a lot of people have copied you over the years. How involved are you in that process or even in finalizing design?
I am very, very lucky in that, even for Red Queen, which was my debut novel.
Yes.
And we'd all heard stories, you don't really have any control over your cover, and that varies from author to author where you are in your career. And I was very, very lucky in that my ideas and my taste and sort of my notes were taken into account by Harper from the jump, from the very first book.
Yes.
And I remember my first editor saying, oh, we're going to put a girl in a beautiful gown on the cover. And at that point in time in the market, every single YA fantasy book looked like that. And I said,
can see them all in my
right.
brain.
And I said, I think we're going to get lost on the shelf. Like, that's just not, I think it will not represent the book correctly. And I think we will get lost. And they said, okay, what are you thinking? And I drew the upside down crown. And then they said, great, we love it. Can we add blood? I was like, of course you can add blood. I remember I said, well, would that make people think it's about vampires? And they said, no, well, we'll go for it. I was like, great, let's go for it. But my agent was very helpful in that she said, when we're talking covers, send them covers you love, but send them covers you also hate, so they know where to angle away from. And then with Realmbreaker, I was also super involved. I made a very crude version of that cover in Photoshop. And then with Tempest, I was less involved because they hit it out of the park pretty immediately when they brought me
They know
the
what to bring
comps,
you now.
the tonal references, what sort of direction they wanted to go in. But of course, going into that, I'm thinking we have such a good track record of covers.
Yeah.
This one can't suck.
The pressure's high. Yeah.
And it didn't. It's great. I saw the printed one finally yesterday. So it's better than the ARC because the blue is brighter. The gold flecks are actual gold. The lettering is gold. It's embossed. It's really cool.
So the nasty part of me wants to be like, what covers did you not like that you said? But I won't ask you that because this is the internet. I want to ask you, what is Elizabeth Banks like?
She's very nice.
Speaking of Red Queen.
Yeah, so she and I are both from Western Massachusetts.
So you're practically related.
Yeah, so we're very, we understood each other's tone very quickly, but super smart. One of the smartest women in Hollywood, I would say.
Before I let you go, can you give us any teases or updates on upcoming screen adaptations? Speaking of Miss Banks.
I can't.
You know what?
There are
That's
things
fair.
I want to say that I can't say, but I can say stay tuned.
Wheels are turning. I said it. Victoria didn't say it. Victoria Aveyard, thank you so much.
I would say sales are filling. Maybe not wheels are turning, sales are filling.
You know what? This is why you're the author. Thank you so much for joining us on the
Thank you for
Popspot
having
today.
me. This was wonderful.